What's up, folks? I'm Barach, this week's host for Beat the Bookie. Look, by nature, I like to be transparent, so I'll warn you right now, I'm not good at sports betting. Since I turned 21, my record on sports wagers is 3-8. But within that, I am 2-2 on betting on college football, and that's what we're here to do today. But before we get into the picks, let's revisit last week. Liam Griffin came on the program and frankly had one bad bet after another. LG lost over $75. I mean, betting on Dabo Swinney was objectively a poor decision. So when we look at the semester standings, that puts Mr. Griffin, not of the Family Guy variety, in last place. Sorry, America. I know that was a bad joke. In all seriousness, Liam said last week that he had, quote, no intention of going anywhere near where Ben Spector and Joe Puccio are in the standings. Yikes. Hashtag freezing cold takes with that one. Meanwhile, Jack Gordon, the parlay kid, is still miles above the pack. In the spirit of the reverse jinx here, I won't come anywhere close to that top spot. LG, by the way, that was the worst mark in the Ethan and Jordan era. All right, for the big games of the week, game one, LSU at Alabama. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's an event when Alabama loses at home under Nick Saban. It just doesn't happen that often, but it happened in September against Texas. In addition, LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels beat Alabama last year in Baton Rouge. The only QB to beat Nick Saban in back-to-back seasons was Drew Brees in 1998 and 99. Saban isn't losing to Daniels again, and Alabama isn't losing at Bryant-Denny for the second time this year. Given that history, it makes no sense that Bama is only giving 3 points here. I'm rolling with a tide, pun intended. Slap $10 on Bama to cover the 3 points. Up next, Mizzou at Georgia. Yes, I know the Tigers are good this year, but this is more about the Bulldogs. Last week was a mojo win for UGA. They dominated Florida even without Brock Bowers. Kirby Smart has a strong running game and a motivated team. Plus, these home games for Georgia, between the hedges, can get out of hand for the visitors. I'm laying 10 on Georgia to cover the 15.5. Moving west to the City of Angels, Washington and USC battle in a matchup between two teams that I just don't feel good about. But it became pretty clear in my head that I'd hate myself more if I sided with SC. The Trojans have been bad. They allowed 49 points last week to Cal. Betting on SC right now is like betting on Judge Smails at the end of Caddyshack. It simply wouldn't be fun. So give me the Huskies, giving the 3 points on the road, but I'm only going to put $5 on it. All right, so if you look at, oh boy, that's fantastic. That's a little, yep, that's 8th grade graduation right there. Good find by Ethan and Jordan. 2 of the 3, they're riding with me. LSU Bama is the one that's not. Can't believe the betting with the Tigers against Saban. Unbelievable stuff right there. Obviously, the C-suite is 6-0 betting against the last 2 hosts. I'm really fazed by that picture right there. Didn't think that would come up. That's an Instagram special for all the sickos out there. All right, time for my best bets. Ames, Iowa is where we start here. Kansas travels to play Iowa State, and I love the Cyclones in this spot. The reason? Bet against a team who just came off an emotional big-time win. The Jayhawks just beat top 10 ranked Oklahoma in Lawrence, so they're naturally going to let down. Beyond that, though, Kansas has lost 2 straight road games by at least a touchdown. Iowa State, on the other hand, hasn't lost a game at all since September. Give me the Cyclones, -2.5, and I'm putting 15 on that. I feel very good about that. Similar thinking for the next game here, Virginia Tech at Louisville. The Cardinals just blanketed Duke 23-0, but the Devils aren't actually that good, and the Cardinals, I believe, are overrated. A 7-1 team, ranked 13th in the country at home, where they've been dominant all season, should be favored by more than 9.5 against a 4-4 team. Vegas knows something here. I'm betting 10 on the sneaky not bad Hokies to cover the 9.5. We shift to Arizona, where U of A is an underdog against UCLA, and the wrong team is favored. Yes, I know just a few seconds ago I said that Vegas knows something about Louisville, and now I'm saying they don't know what they're doing with Arizona. This is why, folks, betting is a losing game. Be responsible here. The Wildcats are getting 2.5 points. They barely lost against Washington and SC, and then they just smoked Washington State and took down Oregon State. Against the spread this season, which is what we care about here, Arizona is 7-1. So let's wager $10 on the Wildcats to cover the 2.5. Let's move from the desert to Stillwater, Oklahoma for the Bedlam game. This is a simple bet, guys. When OU and Oak State get together every year, you expect points. Frankly, you're un-American if you take the under in the Bedlam matchup. Yeah, it's going to be disappointing that this game won't be played at night, but points will be scored nonetheless. I'm throwing $10 on the over of 60.5. For my dog of the week, I'm staying in Stillwater. Oklahoma has proven in the last 2 weeks that it's not a real national title contender. Plus, this is the final season before OU jumps to the SEC. It would be a real shame if they lost to their in-state rival right before leaving the conference. Mike Gundy's squad has quietly strung together 4 consecutive wins, so I'm putting $5 on the Cowboys to upset the Sooners at plus 190. Parlay time. The first leg is the Iowa State spread that we already established. I really love that game. Easy one in the bank right there. For the second leg, call me crazy, but I think that Michigan beats Purdue by at least 33 points. I know it's a huge spread here, but the Boilermakers are really, really bad. I don't trust Hudson Card in the big house at all. Plus, with all the cheating stuff coming out about Jim Harbaugh's program recently, I believe that the Wolverines will play even harder. They've been obliterating teams this year. Statistically, they are on pace to be one of the best college football teams ever. And guess what? The playoff committee this week ranked them down at 3. Even more motivation for Michigan. And the third and final leg is the under in Arkansas, Florida. The Razorbacks offense is comically bad. 3 points just 2 weeks ago. The Gators couldn't do anything offensively a week ago after their first drive against Georgia. These two teams won't reach the 50.5 points. So you add up these 3 legs and you get the plus 611 odds. Lay $10 here and potentially profit over $60. All right, the last bet is a future. I like Oregon to win the Pac-12 championship game at plus 110. Yeah, I know I don't love that the number is close to even, but I believe that the Ducks are the best team in the conference. Yes, they lost at Washington a few weeks ago, but Oregon head coach Dan Lanning cost them the game, and he said that himself afterwards. The Ducks outplayed the Huskies in that game, which was in Seattle, might I add. So should they clash in the conference title rematch, the rematch, of course, will favor the Ducks in that one. Oregon's biggest tests on the schedule are behind them. They killed Utah at Utah last week. That just does not happen to the Utes. Sure, I'm slightly worried about a potential trap game at Arizona State on November the 18th, but this is a highly motivated Ducks team with eyes set on the playoff. Oregon to make the college football playoff is at plus 165, but that introduces some variables that are out of the Ducks' control. So take the plus 110 right now. You won't get a better price after today. All right, let's recap all the bets right here. Tallest one here, yep, that's me. Alabama -3 against LSU. Love that for Nick Saban and the Tide. Georgia will cover. Missouri's good. Missouri's a good team, but Georgia, when they get rolling at home, it's tough to beat them. Washington in a game between. I don't like either of these teams. I like them. USC is just a bad team right now. Kansas State at Iowa State. The Cyclones will easily win that spread right there. And then I also really like UCLA at Arizona. The Wildcats are just being criminally underrated right now. In the Stillwater game, the Bedlam game, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, they will go over the 16.5, and Mike Gundy's squad will prevail as the upset there at plus 190. The parlay, Iowa State, Michigan, and the under in Florida, Arkansas. I like that a lot. And Oregon to win the Pac-12 championship at plus 110 again. You will not find better odds after today. All right. That's all the time we have left here on Beat the Bookie with our producers Ethan Frank and Jordan Leonard. I'm Austin Barach. Bet responsibly. Let's have a Saturday.